Hello and welcome to the next of these little guides that I seem to find myself doing. This one isn't going to be quite as specialised as the first one. This is going to cover another number of general things within the game. So far for me, the thing that I've been concentrating on is trading. I find it's the easiest way of building up your cash reserves. And if we take a look here, you'll notice I'm now in a Cobra Mark III with over 500,000 credits in the balance, so it's certainly been working. With only a rather pathetic kill count of 3, which is certainly not my high point. If you've seen my earlier video of me getting that third kill, you'll know precisely why my kill count is so low. I'm really not what you would consider an expert at combat, but if one should crop up in this guide here, I won't be doing any running. Now the power modules I covered in my first guide, you'll notice that I've advanced a bit more from there. Instead of just having priorities 2 and 1 set, I now have other items in priorities 4 and 3 as well as 2 and 1. Most of the time you really don't need to do that, actually. That's just me being a bit more specific than I have to. Weapons have been improved. I now have 2 class 3 gimbal beam lasers and 2 class 2 cannons. I also have the heatsink launcher, which is bugged, and I also have the point defense turret, which is bugged, and to date I've never had to use either the heatsink launcher or the point defense turret, and yet, well, we'll come to a bug with the point defense turret in a moment. Cargo, I currently have 36 tons of grain. Grain is never going to make you a fortune. Basically, if you find it available for 70 or 71, fill your cargo hold with it and you'll almost certainly find a mining colony or an industrial colony or some other non-agricultural colony nearby, and they'll buy in for usually around 180, and bosh, instant profits right there. So not ideal, but it's a profit, and at the end of the day you need that, and the functions are the same as always. So what we first need to do is decide where we're going. Now we're currently in Opala. I'm almost certainly going to pronounce all of these planets or planetary systems wrong, so I'll apologise in advance to any astronomer who will be greatly insulted by how I attempt to pronounce any of these place names. My destination is going to be Ovid. Now the blue line that connects Opala to Ovid tells me that not only can I make it in a single jump, but I could actually make it with a full cargo hold, which is particularly handy with my Cobra Mark III, because I don't have the standard light bulkheads. I have the military grade composite bulkheads, which has an extra 10 tons of weight to your ship, so being able to still make that jump with a full cargo hold is very handy indeed. Not to mention the additional weapon, or the additional weight rather, that all those other weapons have. So we can give you some idea. Actually, it's hard to see in this system at the moment, but If there were any grey lines showing, then that would indicate how far you could go with the amount of cargo that the cargo mass slider here shows you. Whether it be, well, in fact, yeah, if we drop it down to 0, you can see that some have now reappeared, and then as we increase it, some of those routes disappear because you can no longer make that journey with 15 tons. The trouble is, like so many things in the beta version, this is currently bugged, and according to this, the journey from Owlin to Styx can be done with 14 tons but not with 15. I would bet any amount of money though that if you then did try to make the jump from Owlin to Styx with 14 tons, it would then tell you that you can't do it because you've got too much weight. So at the moment, in effect, when it comes to the readings from the cargo mass slider, the map's lying to you. The other problem with that example is that Styx is a dead system, and there is nothing and nobody there, so you wouldn't want to make that journey anyway. So, our destination is Ovid. It's an industrial economy, so they will certainly want food, as in grain. The fact that it's democracy and the fact that it's Federation allegiance at the moment doesn't really mean anything. When the full version of the game comes along, that might mean something. In a later guide, I'll cover the way that the navigation will show you trade routes in a bit more detail. Needless to say that at the moment it looks something like that if you have everything showing, and I would imagine that a lot of people, including me when I first saw it, basically thought, what the fucking hell is all that? How am I supposed to read anything that's telling me? Needless to say that when it's all out there like that, it doesn't tell you anything. You have to be able to sort through it, but that's for another time. Anyway, I already had my cargo loaded. The destination is set. Let's go to the surface. Now, the trouble with a guide of this length is that I have to now try and think of some things to say while we're on long journeys. Now, this has never been a strong point of mine, so chances are I'm not even going to try. There'll just be lots of silence. I am actually hoping that we will have an interdiction of some kind, especially if it's pirates. That would be great, and then you can see how bad I am at combat once again. But you'll also hear, among a lot of other things, some attempted explanations as to why I am so bad at combat. I mean, I've actually had the chance to test out my current weapon load since buying the gimbal T3 beam lasers and the C2 cannons. I've not encountered a single enemy ship. So, well, the law of averages means sooner or later I've got to bump into one, and it's certainly getting closer to being later than sooner. So you never know, there could be one here. Something else I'll quickly mention before we launch: I'm playing this game with mouse and keyboard. Now, if you were to go to the forums, you'll probably read a number of people there saying that the game is impossible to play with mouse and keyboard. Now, every single one of these videos that I've recorded, and there's no shortage of them, have all been done with me playing with mouse and keyboard. So the idea that the game is virtually impossible to play with anything other than a joystick or a hot ass, I assume that's how you pronounce it, setup, is just complete and utter bullshit. But then again, a lot of stuff that I read in the forums lately has been bullshit, like people complaining that certain features that have always been present in every Elite game, from the first one in '84 to the current beta 1.03 now, and they're complaining that they're in it. So I've almost given up trying to follow the forums, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, enough of that moaning. Let's launch and get out of here, and hope that in this recording I don't make a mess of it.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Oh, I'm already making a mess of it. I forgot to raise the landing gear. I'm now having to leave it at a very steep angle. I don't know what ship that was, but it wasn't leaving me much room. Let's get away from the chaos that I may well have created and left behind. Someone's been destroyed. There's some cargo canisters that has just appeared. Cargo, they dropped palladium and scrap, and I keep calling it uranite, but it makes it sound like it's a cargo canister containing frozen piss. I wouldn't be too eager to scoop that up. Right, we're now outside the master locked range. We should be able to have a place to open it. And straight away it tells us that the jump exceeds the drive fuel use limit. So even though the guide on the map told me that I could make that jump, I actually can't. Right, where can I go? I don't think there are many places where I can go. I can get to Styx, which is an empty system. Right, this is proving to be a demonstration of one of the more irritating features of the game as it currently stands in beta. Because of this, I've now got to go back again. Well, this means that rather earlier than planned, I can now show you about docking. Now, a lot of people have been saying that docking is extremely difficult. Without putting too fine a point on it, bollocks, is it too difficult? It's incredibly simple. Those who find docking in Elite Dangerous difficult must surely be glad that they never played the original Elite in '84, because that was a damn sight harder than it is now. I don't do anything fancy. I've never crashed when I dock, but I freely admit that compared to a lot of other players, the way I dock probably makes me look like a beginner. So we're going to get relatively close to the opening, and then switch off the engines and quickly swing round so that we're in line. Almost perfect. That's probably the best I've done of that for some time. Now we want to contact the docking station. Request docking.
Request granted.
Granted. And we want to go in, not too quickly. Preferably not bumping into these two who are coming out and are taking their sweet time. So slowly, it's like they're using the docking gear to leave as well as to land. Right, so we'll swing in. You want to try and make sure that your rotation orientation is the same as that of the station. Find your docking bay, should be number 43 here. Another landing gear. Coming in a lot slower than usual actually. Now I come to a halt here just so that I can try and level up, and then just thrust downwards until we're in range of the new display, which helps you centralise the ship. So put that right, thrust to the right until we're almost dead centre. Thrust down again.
Docking successful. Engines
That
disengaged.
quite literally is all you have to do for docking. Now, if you can't do that and you have to rely on a docking computer, then you deserve the almost inevitable crashing that you will have, because the docking computer sends you into a wall or into another ship. The docking computer in the beta version is extremely unreliable. I do actually have a docking computer fitted. I can show you in the modules there. Docking computer, and as you can see, it's switched off. It's basically just there for decoration, and that's all it's doing. So I've got to remember to stop starting so many sentences with so. We need to get rid of some of this excess weight, which means getting rid of some of this cargo. So into the commodities. Now I bought the grain at 71. No, I didn't, I bought it at 84, but I'll be selling it at 81. So that means I'm going to lose 13 credits per tonne. Okay, we'll sell 6, so I'm now carrying 30 credits. 30 credits, 30 tonnes. I just need to make sure that when I sell them, I make up for that 78 credit loss, which I will do. Also, I now need to go to the fuel store, refill up with the fuel tank that tiny amount that I use. Now I'll go to munitions, and here resupply heatsink 4 ejected. That's the bug with the heatsink launcher. I have never had to use the heatsink launcher on any ship I've had it fitted to, not once. And yet when you first start up Elite Dangerous, you always have to resupply heatsinks because they've mysteriously been used. It's like the heatsink launcher is eating them or something. I haven't done it for 4 times now, so I'll do it this time. I've got 512,000 credits, so I think I'm doing okay for cash at the moment. Right, so that's lightened the load a bit. Let's go back to the Galaxy map. It's still showing Ovid is out of range. It needs a way of showing me what my current range at the moment is, and I don't think it has a way of doing that. So suddenly it's now telling me I need 29 tons to reach Ovid. Well, I don't trust this thing, so I'm going to drop it down to 26. Now that will definitely be enough, because that would mean if I didn't have my military armour, I would then be able to take 36 tons instead of 26, and I know it can do that gap. So let's drop it down so that I have 26 tons in the cargo hold. Down another 4. So now I lost 70. When much did I lose before? I lost 78. Now going to lose another 52, so someone else can work it out, not me. I'll make up for it on the next trip anyway. Right, we've covered this bit to death. Let's hurry up and get the hell out of here so we can at least go somewhere. Go to Ovid. Now, from Ovid, because these lines here are blue, I know, and for the fact that I've also done it before, I know that I can go from Ovid to Chi Hercules with full cargo hold with my current setup. I almost wish I had recorded this from there now, it would have made things a lot easier. So, let's launch, and let's just bugger off.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Landing gear up. And this is more like my usual exit. So again I've had to slow down because there's another ship coming in. I can't see who it is. An Eagle, and I've hit. Oh god, that was close. That wasn't planned. I'm good at this game, can't you tell? The worst thing about this is I can't have a fag while I'm recording this guide.
Drive
Jump.
charging.
Right, on our way to Ovid. Hyperspace will always remind me to talk to the opening title sequence. Right. Close to Ovid A. We don't really want to get too much closer than that. So lock on to Bradfield Orbital, which is over there. There she is. Now this is another area where people have been complaining a lot, saying that Super Cruise is too slow and you don't move fast enough and blah de blah de blah. At the moment I'm doing 12 times the speed of light. How much bloody fast do you need to be travelling, for crying out loud? They also are ignoring the scientific fact that while space is enormously vast, the overwhelming majority of it is taken up with absolutely sod all. There is nothing out there. So you're not going to be bumping into something every 3 or 4 minutes. And I mean, we're now travelling at over 20 times the speed of light, and it's still going to take you, a little while to reach somewhere. But it's only taking, what, even a couple of minutes to reach, the destination that you're intended to go to. If you can't wait a couple of minutes because you need the action to be happening right then, right now, then this is certainly not the game for you. And for that matter, none of the elite games were ever the game for you. And stick to Battlefield 500 or whatever the fucking hell it's up to now. I couldn't toss about those multiplayer, the first-person shooters. That's my idea of gaming hell, that is. Anyway, my renting has killed time quite nicely. We're getting to within suitable range to exit Super Cruise. you need to be within 1,000 kilometres. You also need to be travelling at less than 1,000 kilometres a second, which we were doing well below that. And disengage. And we're at Bradfield Orbital. I must admit, I do like these orbital type stations. I think they look superb. If you get close enough to that ring around the Bradfield Orbital, you can see the trees, bushes and everything growing in that green area. The level of detail on this game is staggering. About the only docking station that I've actually been to so far that is as impressive as this one is the one at Weird, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong, W-Y-R-D. That's a Coriolis style, no, it's not a Coriolis style station, it's another orbital station like this, and yeah, that has areas of bushes and plants and that actually within the hangar itself, right next to your landing pads, so that does look quite special. Now again, this is where I look like I'm playing it as a novice. I just play it the way that I'm comfortable with. There's no right or wrong way. You don't have to use all the shortcut tips even. Yeah, I think I may have slowed down a little too soon. Yeah, let's try and get a bit more in line. Still no. Only just, I didn't notice that actually there was no interdiction on this trip, so no combat in one of my guides yet, although, say, if you saw my last video, you'll know that
request granted.
I am the last person to offer a guide or any kind of assistance when it comes to battle. One of my pet hates with this game is people refer to this section I'm passing through now as the toast rack. Bay 16, which is right near the entrance. These ones can be a real pain to get to. Okay, landing gear down. This one. Awkward.
Engines disengaged.
Successful dock. Hopefully we can catch sight of the Anaconda somewhere. You can't look around your cabin while you're docked. So while we're waiting, let's go to fuel munitions. Always refuel first. First thing you must always do when you once you've docked. We're not going to see the Anaconda, still not in view, and he's on silent, which means either docked or he's buggered off. the bulletin board just in case there are any people desperate for grain, but there aren't. I might look for that light cargo to a parcel. So, commodities board. Foods, grain, and as always 180. I bought it for 84, so I'm going to make 96 per tonne. So, selling 26 tonnes, 4,680, 2,496 of that credit, those credits is profit. Loss. Holy shit, sounds like that Anaconda's just been destroyed. If he didn't want the ship, he could have given it to me. I would have made use of it. Now, normally I would be taking not fish, that's for sure. I would be taking crop harvesters to Chai or Chi Hercules, because you make good profits on those. Marine supplies as well, you make good profits on those, but at nearly 4,000 a time you're going to have a lot of your credits balance taken up by cargo, and of course if your ship is destroyed, that's a lot of credits that you have then lost. But I want to take a look at this cargo transport. 3,359 credits for 1 tonne of performance enhancers to go back to the Romanenko estate. That is a superb job. In fact, that's so good, I'm going to take that. Damn it, that means I've got to wait a bit longer before I can have my fag. Right, so, to get this over and done with quickly, I am going to now go back to Opal 11 where I got that, or where that job will be taking me with just that 1 tonne. Go back there. I'm not going to take anything else, so we can just do that and make a quick £3 grand plus profit for doing next to sod all. Right, let's get out of here.
Ship released.
5 minutes to leave. If you can't get out of here within 5 minutes, you're definitely doing something wrong. Same as when you are docking, you have 10 minutes to dock from when you first request permission. If you can't do it in 10 minutes, you are definitely doing something wrong. Back past the entrance to the docking bay. Fuck it, I am going to have my fag, so if I sound a bit muffled, it's because I've got a fag in my mouth, as you know. Anyone from America listening to this might find that an image that they would not want to keep in their head for very long. Right.
Drive charging.
Get that charged up and jump away. Might actually get an interdiction here.
4,
1 ton of cargo.
2, 1.
I will definitely actively engage it. There'll be no running. Something else into while we're travelling. I currently play solo mode. That's purely my choice. I'm not a fan of multiplayer games. I never have been. Multiplayer games means that you will always at some point encounter someone who thinks it's hilarious to act like a cunt and stand around at the entrance to a docking bay and shoot every player who's trying to dock. So by playing solo mode, I ensure that that doesn't happen. I may occasionally, very occasionally, make a rare trip into the actual multiplayer, the actual open play, but it is very rare. I haven't actually done so for some time now. So, yes, that's why I haven't been found by any other players, is because you won't find me on the multiplayer server. I play solo. When the final game comes out, I will still play solo. Good news there is that I won't have to go online to do it, and if anybody does find me online, you're welcome to say hello. It will be a rare event. And I won't be going onto a multiplayer server until I have a ship that can withstand the punishment that the twat at the entrance to a space station will no doubt have waiting for me. That plus avoiding anarchy stations for that same reason, because there is no law. The police will not intervene no matter how many times you shoot someone down. Okay. We're back here. It's just occurred to me I didn't even read how long I had to do this mission. There was no reason for me to have to come straight back here. I could have been like 2 or 3 hours. How long did I have? 2 hours and 55 minutes to go. So yeah, I could have taken my time with it. I've only once had mission time out on me. It was because I completely misjudged where it was, and it involved me having to go somewhere that not only was I nowhere near, but also in the opposite direction of where I was going, and I wasn't prepared to turn around, and it was only for something like 1500 credits or something. So I just told them to shove it. And in fact, actually no, I tell you, it wasn't a delivery one, it was they wanted cargo at a particularly good rate, and I thought I could get it at the next station that I was going to, but I couldn't, so I decided not to bother looking for it. There was no fine, because there was no actual goods exchanged, so I let it go. I'm such a rebel at this game, you know. I wonder how long I would have to be playing this and recording this thing before I actually get an interdiction. Okay, slide down, let's get docking permission.
Request granted.
Down. I don't know why it plays that message about if loitering is a crime and do you have authorization of being here. If you don't have authorization of being here, you are blasted within about 3 seconds. Trust me, no matter what armor you've got, it will not withstand the weapons inside a docking station. Bring it down.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Now see another bug, but a bit of a welcome one, because if we go to the bulletin board, now the mission actually said that it would pay you as when you return, but if we give the cargo, okay, they've got it, notice my balance there, and when we leave the bulletin board, boss, balance has gone up, I've already been paid, so you don't have to return to where you got the mission from in order to get your payment. And I think we'll load up, remembering to only buy 26 tons, so that I am all set for my return to Ovid. But in the meantime, I think you've had a bit to chew on there, so that was my brief guide, very brief guide to trading, hyperspace ranges and docking, but not combat as yet, but one of those will no doubt come soon enough. Thank you for watching and goodbye.